Good morning. It is Sunday, November 19th, 2017. We are the Bitter Knitters. My name is Jacqueline, and Justin is here.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, hey, we we were on last week, so we have lots of news to hit today, and then maybe we'll talk about a couple shows. Sure, why not? But before we begin,
Okay.
our first news item is one that I should be sad about. Not really that sad about, but I am sad about it, and that is one of my favorite shows. Nashville is finally ending after season 6.
Sad.
So, so Nashville.
Sad.
It is sad. It is sad. Nashville ran for 4 seasons on ABC, and it was one of those like as bad as it would get sometimes. Even still, I couldn't stop watching. It was a fun show to watch, and after 4 seasons, ABC canceled it. Less than a month later, CMT picked it up, and they aired season 5 this year, and then season 6 is going to begin first week of January on January 4th. So that's coming up pretty soon. And then so it lasted 2 seasons on CMT, but halfway through season 5, they killed and wrote off their main character, Raina James, played by Connie Brennan. And I kind of felt like that would have been kind of an appropriate time to stop the show too, because I feel like you can't really have Nashville without Raina James. They tried. They tried. So what do you think about the show ending after season 6?
Well, I like the show. There's certain things I like about it, a lot of things I hated about it. It was one of those cheesy shows you love to rip on. But I mean, it had good music for the most part, and I don't know. I'll miss it. I'll miss Daphne.
Daphne was the best character on the show. She is Raina James's youngest daughter, kind of going through awkward growing pains now, befriending like a homeless girl and dating some kid that kind of looks like Finn Wolfhard.
And just standing in doorways awkwardly eavesdropping on people. I love that
character. Yeah, they had the whole like subplot with her and her like boyfriend holding hands, and they're at that. Remember when they were at that party?
Makeout party.
Yeah, at the makeout party. They're all making out, and Daphne looks so awkward and looks at her like her friend that looks like Finn Wolfhard, and they both like they don't know how to handle it. And they just go outside.
Let's go swing on swing.
Yeah, swing on swing.
They're just kids. You know what? Me too. We don't need to see kids making out all the time.
I don't want to see Daphne making out.
No.
It's bad enough we have to see Maddie do anything. But she's still not the worst character on the show. Looking at you, Scarlett.
Scarlett. I did like Daphne's singing for the most part, though.
Yes.
Oh. Or Maddie's too.
Yeah, they do get some good songs, and I'm kind of surprised that Hayden kind of lasted the whole series. I almost thought she would have left at one point. I mean, she was absent for a whole stretch of episodes.
It's not like she's in movies or anything really.
But she went through so much like personal stuff too. I'm kind of surprised.
Postpartum and everything. Yeah.
Which they wrote into the show, which I thought was kind of awkward. I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird.
I thought they wrote it into the show and then she like admitted to having it. Or am I wrong? I don't know.
I don't know. I kind of remember
because I thought she was on the show before she left. Remember, she was going through postpartum before she left the show.
Yeah, I don't know. But in whatever order, it was still kind of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, bring attention to a cause that people really do suffer from. So.
Like watching Nashville. No. So what do we think? What do we think is going to happen in the final season? So the way they left off is that you had Zach take over the label. The label's having issues, and he was trying to make them do brand like team up with brands. Like Will the Cowboy had a Budweiser commercial, and then they kind of stood up against him at the end. And it looks like, and he turned off their power, and it was a big standoff between Zach and all the artists of Highway 65.
Yeah, well, I think we're gonna have we'll have Juliet and Avery, of course, end up happily ever after.
Kind of have to have this too, yeah.
I think, and I don't like her. They're gonna end Deacon with that horrible girl,
the blonde girl.
Yeah, I don't like her. I'd rather he end up with Rachel Bilson,
who is leaving the show.
Shocking.
That is.
So she won't be back for the second half at all.
She won't be half for season 6 at all. Correct. That's what I've been seeing on articles online. She's not back at all, and she is off the show. And apparently, when she signed up, she had only signed up for one season, even though technically she was only in half that season.
Yeah.
Because what was weird about season 5 is it almost felt like it could have been a season 5 and a season 6. Like season 5 would have been Raina with the stalker, and it would have ended with the aftermath of her death. And then I think there was a little time jump, and then season 6 could have been the time jump, and this could have been season 7. So
yeah, I guess.
So Rachel Bilson's not returning, which makes me curious how much are we going to see Zach. I haven't heard anything about whether that actor's coming back or not, whether the blonde lady's coming. I assume the blonde lady's coming.
Yeah, I'm guessing they'll end up with Gunnar and Scarlett together, even though I think they're so dysfunctional.
They are. I don't know. I kind of hope they don't do that, because every time they get together, like, things go wrong, and I don't think they're right for each other.
I love Gunnar. I think Gunnar really loves Scarlett, but I think she's got all kinds of freaking emotional problems that she can't.
No,
some deep counseling before she gets into a relationship.
Yeah, and I hope that, I don't know, I don't want to see them together. And then Daphne will probably hook up with the blonde lady's son, because I felt like they were kind of pushing that like towards the end of last season. She had some
maybe
son that was it's some weird kid that was around Daphne's age, because they were at another party that wasn't the makeout party. And
I kind of remember that. Yes.
Side. Yeah.
Oh, I hope not. Because like they'll be step siblings, and if they hook up, I don't care if they didn't know each other before. It's still kind of creepy.
So weird.
Well, I mean, there's a whole subsection of porn for that stuff. So,
but didn't they then? But they already kind of did that with Luke Wheeler and his son, right? Colt.
Yeah, that's true. They did.
Well, hopefully, they won't go that route again, because
they never got married.
Luke and they almost got married.
Yeah, they almost got married.
Yeah, they had a wedding, but Raina James like drove off.
Yeah, that's creepy when I think about it. Yeah.
I never thought about that before. But
probably knew that they were never going to get married, so I was just like, whatevs. Or I've watched too much Days of Our Lives that stuff doesn't even face me anymore in a TV show.
So we are getting it January 4th. So that's actually just a few weeks from now that season 6 begins.
Yay!
It's going to be a shorter order than last season, which is probably a good thing. Because like I said, last season was pretty much 2 seasons in one.
Well, they can just, get into getting into the storylines and wrapping it up, and they don't need to drag it out with filler now.
Exactly, which you always get when they know that it's the end of their show, that they can finally like kick it in and they know where they're going, like Lost.
I'm probably going to have to break the news to my mother-in-law, because I think she would not know that this. And I don't think she follows entertainment sites, and I'm pretty sure she doesn't listen to this podcast. So I think I'll be the one breaking the news to her.
I haven't talked to my mom about it either. But the last time I tried to like break any sort of Nashville news to her, she's like, "Oh yeah, we have a friend on Facebook who loves Nashville and posts the latest Nashville news all the time." I'm like, oh, "Okay, so
that's me. I'm her BF."
So I'm like, I'm not even gonna bother breaking Nashville news because it'll come up. I'm sure it'll come up at Thanksgiving, because either they may not quite know when the show comes back, so they may not know it comes back in January. So it'll be good, and hopefully, I hope people get their happy endings. I think Nashville is going to be one where everyone will get their happy ending. I don't think we're going to get a sad, depressing end.
I mean, it might be more dramatic if, like, Deacon just, like, I can't live without Raina, and, like, jumps off a bridge or something. Drives his pickup truck off a bridge.
Oh my God, yes. That
or Scarlett,
Foggy has Zach, like, tied up in the back of the truck.
Yeah, and Scarlett.
Yeah, and Scarlett, yeah. He just breaks while Beverly's ghost is just watching them.
Maybe he gets possessed by Beverly's ghost.
Ooh, you know who needs to come
back?
Beverly
is a sister who died, just so you know.
You know who needs to come back for the final season?
No.
Liam.
Oh, and he's not doing anything.
No. Is he? Well, yeah. I don't know if he's going to pop up on the last season of Game of Thrones.
Even if he did, that's probably like a 4-day gig or something. Like he's not going to have a huge role.
Yeah. Well, in either show. But I think, I almost feel like that music director guy they introduced last year was kind of like their like
Liam 2.0
Liam substitute. Yeah, like we can't get Liam, so let's bring in this guy that's kind of like Liam.
Well, and they also know, if I remember correctly, they kind of had Will kind of looking at his ex-boyfriend, right? Did his ex-boyfriend get married, or where? Remember the one he really liked, his writing partner?
Oh, the writing partner. I don't know if he got married, but I think he was with another. I think he was with someone else. Yeah.
I liked those two together. I thought that was a good boyfriend for a while.
I did too. I didn't like that creepy suit guy. That older guy.
No.
That was weird.
No, that guy was a perv.
And then Zach.
That guy was a Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah. I wanted to like Zach, but Zach was kind of a creeper too. And I don't think he was very good for. I don't think he was good for Will.
No.
So hopefully Will can hook up with someone and yeah, we'll see. Unless watch it be like a flash forward the last episode, and we'll see like Avery's and Juliet's daughter, like
Cadence
being the
she's now on the star. They're like, Cadence, come on stage at the Grand Ole Opry.
I can see Nashville doing something cheesy, like a big giant flash.
Scarlett Gunner's daughter starting her new job at the Bluebird Cafe.
Yeah, I could totally see that. Even though she would have, she lost her last baby, maybe she'll have.
Or their son, and then their son falls in love with Cadence.
Oh,
there you go. I wrote it. You're welcome, Nashville.
I always see. Why aren't you on the writing staff?
They never hire me.
I'd be like, bring back.
I'm not great at writing. I'm the ideas person. I'd just be like, here's the ideas.
Like
someone
an
write something.
executive producer or like the show creator. I don't think show creators really do much.
I'm like the what's his name? James Patterson. I come up with the ideas, not the actual details.
Write this for me, peon. Whip. I always forget that back when Nashville first began, which seemed like so long ago, it was Scarlett and Avery dating.
Yeah.
And remember, Avery was like the worst.
He was a jerk. And by season 2, we all loved him, and he was the best character on the show.
Yes.
And besides Daphne, he still is the best character on the show.
They just need to bring back the singing homeless man, magical homeless man.
Oh, my God. And Veda.
And Veda! Whatever happened to her?
I'm telling you, she was murdered by the person murdering the homeless women.
So what happened with this girl? She was like some homeless girl that came into town that Raina James took under her wing. It looks like she was going to be a big, huge character. Then all of a sudden we see her car broken in. She's nowhere to be seen. And Raina James for one episode did like a let's raise awareness to homeless people gala, and then nothing.
That's it. So probably the singing homeless man murdered her.
Yes. I almost thought the story was going to go around like full circle, and she was going to be like in charge of all the homeless girls Daphne was befriending.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
Everybody would have been like, who is that? Even my mom was like, where's that homeless girl? Where's Veda?
Exactly.
Come on, Nashville. You dropped the ball on that one. Well, I could probably talk a whole hour about Nashville.
I know. I guess we'll have a finale send-off episode.
We'll have to. It'll be so sad. But yeah, no Rachel Bilson, which kind of makes me sad. But Rachel Bilson was cast in I did like when she did her karaoke, and at least they gave her that good moment.
Yeah.
She's but she was cast like the same day they announced she wasn't coming back to Nashville. She was cast in an ABC show that they're calling it a light detective procedural, which sounds awful, called Take Two. And apparently the two main stars are Rachel Bilson and Eddie Cibrian.
No, I can't watch him.
No.
Ever since the stank of LeAnn Rimes got on him, I just can't stomach him. He used to be very handsome, and he's disgusting now. Sorry, Rachel Bilson. Sorry.
Now,
wouldn't it be kind of nice if she stole him from LeAnn Rimes? So I shouldn't advocate husband stealing, but LeAnn did steal him from his first wife, so it would be kind of gossip. Okay, gossipy. That's it.
That would be interesting. And now
I'm not gonna watch it. Sounds awful.
And we know that Bilson's no longer, quote unquote, with Hayden Christensen.
No, he apparently cheated on her with I can't even remember who the actress was.
Oh, actress? Oh, okay.
yeah. I can't remember who it was. He's making a movie with some actress, and he apparently cheated with her.
So, wow. Oh, damn you, Anakin Skywalker. But I will say, he was good in 2 movies. Like, as horrible as he was in the Star Wars, he actually put in 2 really good performances. I can't even remember what those movies are called right now. Life is a House.
Right.
The one where he's like the son of Kevin Kline, who's like building a house and dying of cancer.
Never saw it, yes.
Well, it's fantastic. And then there's the other one called Glass, where he's like
Oh, I saw that one.
Where he's like a journalist of some sort. That was actually a fantastic movie. So that was good. Speaking of TV shows, so we won't watch that Take Two. Sorry, Rachel Wilson. I love you. Rachel. Not going to watch that show. Another show that I am not going to watch that Netflix ordered this week, a 10-episode drama called Messiah from Mark Burnett. No.
Like not to diss Jesus freaks, but he's such a Jesus freak. I don't watch Jesus stuff.
It explores the lines among religion, faith, and politics. No. I'm surprised you're not in the theater right now.
Wrong channel. Oh, watching what?
Well, I can't believe you're not in the movie theater right now watching The Star.
I don't even know what that is.
An animated movie about the birth of Jesus, voiced by Oprah.
Oh, I watch one of those every year. It's called the Nestor the Long-Eared Donkey. That's as close as I get.
Yeah, so this is going to be a 10-episode series. Of course, they also, Mark Burnett and Roma Downey, his wife, also brought us the Bible and AD, The Bible Continues, and I didn't realize they produced Ben-Hur from last year, that movie. But I'm not going to watch this.
It makes me, I don't know even what the word perplexed, that he produces a show about being completely cutthroat Survivor, one of the greatest shows of all time, and he's such a Jesus freak.
Yeah, because I feel like in order to do well on Survivor, you kind of have to throw your morals out the door.
You do.
That doesn't mean you're going to be like raping and killing people, but obviously.
No, and it doesn't mean in your real life that you would be that kind of person, but I mean, it's $1 million.
You have to be cutthroat. You kind of have to deceive. You have to lie.
Yeah.
And I feel like, yeah. But I don't know how much he really has to do with Survivor these days.
That's true.
Because I feel like it's kind of
producing Jesus Christ-based shows.
Yeah. And also, we have him to blame for The Apprentice.
And you know who he still kind of supports.
Omarosa?
He who shall not be mentioned. Or she who should not be mentioned as well, but yeah.
Yeah, that's sad. And I bet sad. I bet they're sitting on so much footage that we'll never get to see.
Well, that's what all the, people from behind the scenes say. Lots of racist stuff.
So speaking he also produces, this is going to be an amazing segue, by the way. He also produces The Voice. And speaking of The Voice, there's another musical competition coming. Bam! Nailed it.
Wow. Good, right? Wow, you're so smooth.
I'm so good at connecting the dots. So this is from Fox, and this is their replacement, I guess, for Idol, since Idol is coming back on ABC. And I'll talk about Idol in just a minute. But it's called Before. And I don't really understand how this works, but apparently the show starts out with its final four. The producers and judges and everything.
They narrow it down. Fuck you, public. You have no say in it whatsoever.
And it's already narrowed down to 4. Now, I guess what happens is then those 4 have to compete with other viewers and other people and other singers, and to compete for those 4. Then I guess the public gets to vote who gets that seat, whether the newcomers will get the seat or whether one of the final 4 will keep it. So now I don't understand if it ends with 4 winners or if those 4 then have to combat against each other to a death battle and just have one survive in the end. I'm not quite sure. They're not being very clear about the format.
Is it do we know if it's phone-based voting or?
I feel like everything these days now is app-based.
Okay, because this would be an easy thing for the old website Vote for the Worst to completely fuck with.
Yes, because I don't think anyone's going to watch this show. But they could do what The Voice does and just try, and what Idol kind of did in the last couple of years, is just try to completely weed out the entertaining and quote-unquote bad singers.
Before they even get to the stage.
Because if you look at The Voice, everyone else has been completely vetted, and there's no one, I think, that could qualify for Vote for the Worst. And I have a feeling this will be the same way. But they did announce their judges this week, and I am underwhelmed.
Wow.
The first one is a record label executive named Charlie Walk. I don't know who he is. I've never heard of this guy, but he's already the guy I like the most on this panel.
I'm sure we'll have a lot of people coming out and covering their faces and going, "Oh my God, it's Charlie Walk."
Charlie Walk down that street. I don't know. DJ Khaled is also
Yeah, I know who he is, but I honestly couldn't tell
I
you what he sings.
I think he had a song this summer. He's just kind of like a large guy who always wears like tracksuits, right? That's all
I
I
know his
picture.
son is like big on the Insta because they dress his son up like a little DJ Khaled. That's
Sean
all I
Diddy
know.
Combs, Brother Love, Diddy, P Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever you want to
Over
call
him.
him.
Goodbye.
I
I
don't
ain't
like
missing
him.
you.
And
Did you
then
see? No, you know what? This guy showed up at a strip club this week, and you know what? It's all well and good. He's got his money, earned his money, whatever. He showed up with like a shopping bag full of money. And he dropped over $100,000 at this strip club. I mean, I guess keeping the sisters in business, but just come on.
but still, that just shows.
It's disgusting. I just get disgusted by waste of money like that. Like, donate that money to, a cause.
Yeah, there's so many. Yeah, exactly. And then the last judge is Megan Trainor.
Do not think
No.
she has any talent whatsoever.
No, and she's doing a Spy Kid.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's a weird couple. I don't know.
Their children will be extremely hideous.
Yes. Oh my God. Just picturing their faces. Like, I'm not excited for the show at all. I might give it a go. To me, I feel like the singing genre right now is kind of over, and it has been over. So I don't know why they keep trying.
Well, even mainstream music is so overproduced and mass produced that I don't like any current music for the most part. I'm listening to older music or like,
No,
Rob
I'm not.
Williams.
Any of the current pop stuff. There are like here and there. Like Shawn Mendes had a song this summer I liked. But I've been mainly listening to either talk radio or like all
Disney Kids
type stuff, and Disney Kids, of course. But which just makes it baffling that ABC's bringing back Idol, which is premiering.
I still can't believe they're bringing back Idol.
But they're doing something tonight, which I think is kind of interesting. So tonight is the American Music Awards, and so in one of the commercial breaks or throughout the commercial breaks, they're doing a thing where I don't know how many kids they're picking. I think it's 3 or 4, but the judges and the producers picked 3 or 4 failed auditions and putting them out there for the public to watch. And then the public will get to vote. And then tomorrow night on Dancing with the Stars, because it's all about synergy, they'll pop up and announce which one of those got the most votes, and that person will get a second chance and go straight to Hollywood Week. Which is kind of a
smart viral thing to do.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of a way to get people excited, and it's something that Idol hasn't done before. So I think that's kind of a cool thing. Still not.
Well, and I know tonight on the AMAs, BTS is going to be on.
Yes.
This is a huge, like one of the biggest groups in the world that you probably never heard of because they are a Korean K-pop band. Don't sing in full English. They sing some lines will be in English, but most of it's in Korean. Yeah, my daughter loves them. They're a huge band.
Yeah, and I've been starting to hear more buzz for them too, in some of like the radio shows I listen to.
They won the vote for was it MTV? They won the awards, the Video Music Awards. They won a vote. One of the ones where the fans vote, and they killed the competition.
So it'll be interesting to see if K-pop finally hits a dig in the U.S.
Can break America. Yeah,
it's definitely a cult thing.
And at least it's different. I will say that it's not different. It's different from today's music because K-pop is all based on like 90s R&B.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a little more like a throwback, right?
Yeah. So like if you like that kind of music and you don't like today's crap,
there's a lot.
Give it a chance. I mean, some of the songs are catchy. I will give it that. The boys in the bands are kind of strange to look at. But once you get over that, I mean, they can sing and they can dance. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I heard their dancing was kind of crazy. Like
the managements. So the groups that run these bands, it's not like I control my own band. These are businesses and they're controlled and they're severely limited to what they can eat and what they can do in their free time and stuff. So it's almost like a military group that they practice nonstop.
Are you saying if One Direction was in that kind of strict regiment, we wouldn't see like bird tattoos on Harry Styles?
I can only think of a couple of K-pop people I've even seen with a tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haircuts, Harry. No. All right, we're gonna play for our next story. We're gonna play a quick game. How well do you know me? So here's a question: do you know what my favorite book of all time is?
Yeah, I think so. It's either Catcher in the Rye or Fahrenheit whatever that book is.
No, I almost thought you were going to get it with the first one because it begins with those words. Catch 22.
Oh, that's it. Catch 22.
I do love Catcher in the Rye. Catch 22.
Yeah.
And there was a movie back in the 70s, and the movie was weird. I don't know. But apparently, George Clooney is going to star and direct a 6-episode series of Catch 22. They don't know where it's going to air yet. I can see this going to a streaming service. But they want to adapt Catch 22 for a 6-episode season. And I actually think that with what's going on in the world, I actually think that this might work. It's about some army members, bombardiers in World War II, and they keep they are hoping to leave the military, but their things keep getting re-upped against their will, and that's kind of what the Catch-22 is. They're kind of stuck in their situation. No matter what they do, they're kind of stuck in. And so it's kind of a dark comedy. I think it'll work for today if it's done right. And I do enjoy most of what George Clooney does. So I would watch it.
Interesting. I would probably watch it. I haven't read the book, but I would watch it.
It's good. So
I did that live black and white military World War II thing back in the 90s or early 2000s. Remember that?
Well, I remember he had like the news one, Good Night and Good Luck.
No, it was like he was in a plane. Maybe he was supposed to be in like the Enola Gay.
Oh.
Flying to drop the bomb on Nagasaki or Hiroshima. I think that's what it was about. Anyway.
And he was one of the guys. I remember
he's I'll give this. He gives a lot of, love to the craft. He likes making movies and telling stories.
Oh yeah. And I love Up in the Air. I just think he's overall solid director, solid actor. He directed that Suburbicon movie with Matt Damon that just recently came out, which looks awful, but I'd probably watch it at home.
Yeah, it looks okay.
Did you hear? I know we both given up anything related to The Walking Dead like a year ago. Did you? I'm kind of interested though. What's going on with Fear the Walking Dead? Apparently, in their finale a few weeks ago, they killed or possibly killed most of the cast, and most of the cast has been like being killed throughout the series. Anyway, right now the only person that we know for sure is alive is that Madison, that main lady.
Of course,
and her son and the son and the daughter might be alive, but other than that, pretty much everyone else is dead. Oh, and the black guy, Strand, he might be alive too.
Yeah, there wasn't much people left from that though, so I guess
So they've announced 2 cast members for the new season. It's gonna be a new showrunner, and it kind of has me scratching my head, like, okay, you got Garrett Dillahunt.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah, and he's currently is he the one that's on Gifted right now? He was on
Mindy Project.
And he's the guy on Gifted right now.
Oh,
right?
yes, he's the evil scientist. Yeah. We've only seen him a couple times.
Yeah, and Jenna Elfman.
Oh.
Seems weird, right?
I don't enjoy her.
I'm not. I watched Dharma and Greg as a kid.
I mean, I might watch her. She's going to get ripped apart by a zombie.
Which, with the way they treat their main cast, it's very possible.
Yeah,
it's very possible. Couple weeks ago, you know how we talked about Amazon possibly looking at picking up a Lord of the Rings series?
Yes.
They ordered it. And
I saw it's going to be prequel. It's not necessarily going to be a recreation of the same thing.
Yeah, that's what they're saying now, is that it would take place before the movies began. So
I'm down with that. I'll give it a chance.
So I guess would it be like between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings? Is that where they're looking at, or
maybe
is it going to be even before The
Hobbit? I mean, I guess you could do a season, and you could tell the story of Aragorn before he becomes, before he joins with the Fellowship. The story, what he was doing as Strider. You could tell the story of Legolas. You could tell the story of Gimli. You could tell the story of what happened to the dwarves in the Mines of Moria. There's a million stories to tell.
I just want Boromir. No.
How to get that horn.
So it looks like they've picked it up already for multiple seasons and maybe room for a potential spinoff. This seems like a huge commitment for something that not a second has been filmed of.
No.
And I know
I love that universe. I hope it's good. That's all I'm hoping.
Yeah, and I know Amazon is going really hard. They want their own Game of Thrones series. They want their own big series, and they haven't quite landed that. I mean, Transparent's done okay. Man in the High Castle's done okay, but they want their big, huge series. So I guess they're throwing whatever money they can. I just don't know if this is it. I feel like there could be other things that they could have done. But I mean, it's a big name. It's a big property, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
It's already got a built-in fan base.
Yes.
Right. You've got, even if you don't like the movies or, any of the movie stuff, you've got the people that have read the books a million times. Or if you're not into the books, you've got the people that love the movies. You've got a built-in fan base, and people are going to tune in. If it's good, people are going to watch.
And while I've heard they're throwing lots and lots of money to this TV show, at the end of the day, though, it's still going to have a TV show, a streaming show budget.
Yeah.
How's it going to look?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you just have people running around the forest. How much CGI are you going to put into it?
Yeah. And whether
because even Game of Thrones, when it came out, its first season didn't have very much money.
That's
it
true.
wasn't doing like $35 million an episodes. It was doing, $5 million.
Yeah, if you look at a season 1 episode versus a season 6 or 7 episode, it's going to look a lot different.
Yeah.
Because
most of that money went into wig budget.
Wigs and Dragons. That's the alternate name of the show. If I were like writing Honest Trail at the end, it'd be called Wigs and Dragons. It'll be, and then the same thing will be the casting too. Obviously, they're not going to get the movie cast because it's. I don't know if this can be in the same.
Well,
universe.
If you're doing a prequel, these people are going to be too old. Lord of the Rings was 15 years ago.
Yeah, but you could get. I mean, if they do Galadriel, this should be looking the same, right? She doesn't age.
She doesn't age. I mean, you could get most of the hobbits because they're not doing anything.
True. That's true. I don't know. And how far, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where they go with this.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if you wanted to get any of the old actors, you wouldn't even necessarily have to do a prequel. You could tell the story of what happened to, say, like Merry and Pippin when they went back to live with, I'm such a nerd, when they went back to Rohan and to Gondor, before they.
Yes, that was a sentence.
Left to go to the West. But they would be older, right?
Yeah,
and
that would work.
Dominic Monaghan and Billy Boyd are older and busted. So, I mean, that would work.
What is Billy Boyd doing?
Literally nothing, I'm sure.
And the last thing I saw Monaghan do was his, Let's
Russell
Snake show. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
I don't think he's doing anything.
One more
news.
One more news story before we talk about our TV shows. So I don't know if we've mentioned this, but big story is Disney right now is that in 2018, 2019, they want to start their own streaming service. So a lot of people assume that they'll get a lot of their old shows, a lot of their old movies. They're doing Marvel stuff, Star Wars stuff. But now they've announced that they are thinking of ideas for original programming too. And they announced three licenses that they are very seriously looking at in having their own original programming. That includes a Star Wars live action show. That includes a Monsters Inc. spin-off show. And that includes a TV series related somehow to High School Musical.
Yes.
Yes. That's the one I'm
watch. Down with that. Mrs. Darbus needs a job and a paycheck. Chad Danforth can be the new basketball coach.
Yeah, Sharpay can be but Miss Darbus is the drama coach.
They could just have Sharpay be the principal of the school.
There we go.
And Evan can be, and Ryan can be vice principal.
I was gonna say you could be the janitor.
Oh, he's too fab. It could work.
Yeah, I think I don't think we'll see any of the original cast. No. Maybe a couple. Maybe Monique Coleman, is that her name?
Yeah. I mean, most of the cast is not doing anything.
And Martha. We could see Martha. Was that her name?
Is she still popping and locking?
She's still popping and locking. Yeah. So I feel like they could be like the adult characters. Oh my God, I feel so old saying that. But remember, wasn't there whatever happened? I thought they had filmed a whole season of a show, but maybe it never got past the pilot phase. Because they were supposed to be like a next generation High School Musical show where Miss
I remember they
had like a whole bunch of like kids, and it was a new class of kids. And I was under the impression it got picked up, it was filmed, but maybe it just never got past the pilot phase because I never
Well,
heard.
seeing how it's a show and not a movie, I wonder if they'll have giant like posters of the athletes in the hallways like they had in High School Musical 3.
That was ridiculous. What school does that? Like,
Well, there's that school in Texas that's building the $60 million stadium. So some
Yeah.
schools, I guess, have that kind of money.
but like, if you're on a public school budget, I feel like there's better uses to spend your, unless they've got a really good boosters situation.
Maybe Troy's dad bought those things.
And of course, he needs to come back somehow.
Yeah.
You can't.
Like my son Troy, even though he's only 5'10", is the #1 basketball player in the NBA.
He just got arrested for shoplifting in China. No. So that will be their excuse for us never seeing Zac Efron.
I would watch.
He would be the one actor that would not come back. And
He
Vanessa
doesn't need
Hudgens.
to. He's about to be in the greatest movie of all time.
Oh my God. I can't wait. Did you listen to the
We
third
cannot,
song?
yes, we cannot endorse. Let me tell you about this movie coming out, The Greatest Show. Now, I'm very anti-circus and anti-using animals in the circus, but these look like all CGI animals, so I'm okay with it. The Greatest Showman. Greatest Showman?
Greatest Showman. Is it Greatest Showman on Earth or just Greatest Showman?
I think it's just
Maybe
The Greatest Showman. It's got Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, Zendaya, Michelle Williams, the white one. It looks, and the songs coming out are amazing. All 3 songs I've heard so far are freaking amazing.
Yeah, they've released 3 songs. The first song is a kind of a group song, but mainly done by Hugh Jackman. I think that's what they're opening the movie with. And the second trailer they just released uses that song a lot in the trailer, and it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Then there's another song that I think is, I want to say, done by the Bearded Lady.
I think it is, yeah.
And then the third song was the Love Romance duet by
This Is Me was the Bearded Lady song, I think, right? This Is Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there was one just released this week that is like
Yeah.
the love song between Zac Efron and Zendaya.
It's beautiful.
It's a nice song.
Since I've been hearing these songs, this movie it's like tying with freaking Star Wars as Mike's most excited movie of the year. Because I wasn't excited by any movies this year except for Star Wars, and now I'm excited for this movie.
Star Wars trailers are cool, but I really want to see, I
Yeah.
really want to see this one. And there's a couple smaller ones that I want to see, but it's definitely The Greatest Showman.
And it's nice to hear Zac Efron singing again. He's a decent singer.
Yeah, even a little falsetto in this new song.
Yeah, I liked it.
It's no bet on it, but it was good.
It's not a no bet on it. But yeah, it's decent.
So yeah, I cannot wait. So I would also watch a High School Musical.
Yeah,
Now they
I'll be
come
watching.
out. Bob Iger, sorry, who's the CEO of Disney, came out and was like, "Oh yeah, we're going to price our service like much lower than Netflix is." Well, Netflix is only what, $10.99, and I mean CBS is $5.99, so maybe
Everything.
yeah.
Like Disney's only gonna have Disney stuff. I mean, yes, it's gonna have Star Wars and Marvel and stuff, but I mean, it's still just that stuff.
I'm wondering if maybe the cheaper price they'll do a cheap price, and that'll be like commercials like Hulu does.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. Speaking of Hulu, next week is Runaways, and I cannot wait.
Yay!
So
We've been waiting a
excited
long
for
time for this
I
one.
keep seeing commercials for it, and I have to say there's a couple of characters that look identical to their comic counterparts. I'm very excited.
Nice.
Very excited. And Spike is in it. Old Spike.
I'm sure we'll talk about that in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks,
since-
because next week is Thanksgiving for Americans, and I will be on the road during this
Yes.
time. So let's quickly talk. That was a lot of news this week. A lot of fun stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
And Nashville. But I do want to talk about a couple shows that we watch regularly, and those are we'll start with this 2 CW shows, Jane the Virgin and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. And you will
Oh my god, very emotional shows this week for me.
I did not tear up in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I did tear up in Jane the Virgin when Raph read the acknowledgement.
That was sweet. That made me like literally. I had to get out the tissues because I was like really crying at that point. And I don't even like him. Fuck you, Raph.
So we need to talk about Jane the Virgin because I'm very interested in where they're going right now. So right now, Jane's book is just coming out, and she's been seeing Adam, played by Sideways Face Tyler Posey. And
Yes.
meanwhile, Raph has lost the hotel, and because Aneska and her mom have kind of tricked Raph's sister, Magda, into thinking she was crazy. So they have most of the shares now. And so Petra's trying to deal with that. And And yeah, it's Sideways Face Adam. And then we were promised.
What I found emotional about it is because she was having all these memories of Michael.
Yes.
And I love Michael. So it made me sad to see him in all those times. And when she was talking to the lady author in the bookshop, I was really crying there. It was like,
that was a good scene.
Yeah, it was good.
But I felt like the narrator was used to kind of lighten that up though also.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, get on with it, stalker.
Yeah, and even when she was talking to her dad, he said, I kind of knew about you, maybe. That was I thought there was just so many emotional scenes in that episode last night.
Yeah, it was a good episode. And a few weeks ago, the narrator promised, and he showed like 6 different characters, that one of these characters will die. And we got resolution to that at the very end of the episode, learning that.
Are we going to spoil it?
Yes. Yeah. Who's watching?
Okay.
Who's watching?
Us. Yeah, they killed. I loved her. They killed Aneska.
Out of all those characters, that was the one that would I said at that time kind of would make me the saddest.
Yeah. That's the one I didn't want killed. Everybody else could have died, really, except for Alba.
Yes, that's right. Alba was listed there.
Yeah. I'm so upset. And they said she was murdered. She didn't kill herself because they kind of made her seem like she was really feeling sad and she might have killed herself. But the narrator says it was murder.
Yeah, at the end we see that she's hanging in the hotel.
So who do we think killed her? Do we have to assume it's Magda? Or is that too obvious?
That's who I think we're supposed to assume, but that is way too obvious.
Who else would have killed her? Maybe that guy?
Rose.
The one that Carl? Oh, Rose, maybe.
I think it's gonna be Rose. Or is Rose still in jail?
As far as I know.
Oh, it could be Carl. I don't think it'll be Carl.
I don't know. It made me sad though. I didn't want to see. And she wasn't evil. She did what her mom told her to do. Kind of sad.
What I loved about her though is it just showed how good of an actress
she was.
The fact that Petra and Aneska were played by the same person, and it was just
two completely different characters, like really. And I loved like when she got her fancy work shoes, and they were a pair of like Mary Jane like shoes. And she's wearing ruffled socks with them and stuff.
And I love Petra, but I think I liked Aneska more just because she was just so much fun.
Yeah.
And so different.
Yeah.
And
pleased to be meeting you, beautiful sister. Like just so funny. I loved her.
And then when that actress had to play Aneska as Petra.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's sad.
Yeah, no, I give it to her.
Unless it's a third sister who's the murderer.
Oh my God. They did that on Days of Our Lives, so that is completely possible.
And we are talking about what's at heart a telenovela. And that's what I like about this show, is that it's really a fast-paced show.
And, I mean, they even talked briefly about they were watching a telenovela, and they're like, oh, yeah, he faked his death so that his twin brother wouldn't know. So, I mean, they're setting a precedent in the show.
Oh, yeah. They'll be interesting.
I will warn you, Aneska. I hope you are a triplet named, Goldie or something. I don't know. I couldn't think of a name. That's the first name popped to mind.
That would be awesome. So, and then the other part of the episode that kind of surprised me is we got Tyler Posey, or Adam, kind of breaking it off with James. She's ready to declare her love for him. And he's like, oh, remember that job offer 3 episodes ago? They came back to me and offered me so much more money. I can't say no. I'm moving out to LA, across the country, and kind of leaving Jane. And
go on.
Go ahead.
I should say I'm kind of sad.
As much as I don't like Tyler,
he grew on me.
He's kind of a fun, nice character, and I kind of liked them together.
His point. Yeah, and I liked his point. Yeah. He's like, I see your dreams coming true, and I want my dreams to come true.
Yeah,
I kind of agreed with them.
And I thought, but what I find interesting is I thought that this can't be the end of the character, though, right?
I think he's coming back.
He's got to come back in some way. So next week, the preview, it looks like the three ladies, Jane, her mom, and her abuela, are on like a road trip doing a book tour. And it sounds like part of it's also to try to get over Adam.
Now, here's the question I have. I just got to ask this question.
Might be the same question I've got. Go ahead.
If Adam comes back, does she trust him again? That would be the third time.
I don't think she can.
I don't think she should. As much as he's a nice enough guy, I don't think you should.
No,
Someone's
he's kind of
fucked you over
flaky in that
twice.
way, and I don't feel like, especially that she was so vulnerable and she finally was allowing herself to
Yeah,
open up,
yeah.
and this happened the second time. I don't think I don't think Jane could.
I don't think Jane would either.
But is Raph, after all this, the end game?
I hope not. I just don't buy them. I like them as friends. I find them more believable as friends than when they were trying to make them like in love. I never bought it.
They are, yeah. Their chemistry is more of a friend chemistry. But
I just never buy them as lovers. I don't know.
There were scenes in tonight's episode where I feel like they're going to head down that path.
Yeah. How she was so heartbroken that he wasn't going to show up to her book tour and stuff, or her book.
Yeah, and then the acknowledgement scene that I mentioned earlier. I just feel like that might be the way that they're going.
I'm sure that's how it's going to end at some point when the show finally ends. She'll be with Raph, but I don't want her to be with Raph.
And I can also see them getting closer, and then that's when Adam comes back.
Yeah.
That's the way these things work. What's the younger guy's name that was in? He came back.
Oh, Fabian.
Fabian, yeah, Fabian. I'm over him. I'm ready for him to just go away.
No, he's annoying. He needs to go away.
But
although I did think his photo shoot was funny with the ghost face and the wig and the book.
that was good. And his presence in this week's episode allowed us one more screenshot of Lady Rogelio.
Yes,
which I
love Lady Rogelio.
Judy, I think he went by.
Yeah, Judy.
That was awesome. I love Rogelio. But yeah, it was kind of a good episode for him. It's interesting, and I just wonder what are we in season 4?
I think 4.
I think this is season 4. It makes me curious how much more show we're gonna get.
Well, her status is just going up and up. She's in movies and stuff now, so I don't think it'll be too long before she's ready to kind of leave the show behind.
I could see, but they haven't made any announcements for this season yet. I can see season 5 big.
Yeah.
But
I could too.
I'm still enjoying it. Yeah,
I will say I much more enjoy this Mateo than their old Mateo.
Yes, Mateo's not too bad. The
last Mateo was really a little shit. Really couldn't deal with him.
And I like that this week's episode, we barely saw him, so that was fun.
Yeah.
But when they try to do like storylines around him, I'm like, no, I don't want to see. But this Mateo, you're right. I think this Mateo is a little bit. It's like when they replaced Lily on Modern Family. This one's a little better.
Yeah.
And then paired with paired with Jane the Virgin on CW, we got Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which is in the middle of season 3. Been interesting. Not bad. I've been enjoying it.
It's been dark.
But very dark. Very dark. But I think and hope we're past the darkest part of the season.
I think so too. I think it's gonna only go up from here.
And looking, did you see?
It can only go up.
Did you see the trailers for next?
No, I didn't see.
It looks like her and Paula go on a road trip to Paula's home in Buffalo.
Oh.
Well, I guess 2 weeks is I don't understand CW's scheduling. So the episodes were on this week, and then they're taking a 2-week break. They're back. Crazy Ex and Jane are back December 8th, but those are the finales for mid-season. Why are you taking a 2-week break and then coming back with the finale?
Just put it on Thanksgiving. People will still watch it.
Well, the day after Thanksgiving. The thing is I bet most of the audience don't watch it on your channel or watch it live anyway. Most of them will probably DVR or watch it on your app or watch it online.
Yeah.
Come on, CW.
That's annoying.
So they go to Buffalo. She kind of meets what she called her Josh Chan. And apparently she sings a song, an upbeat song in Supermarket about wanting his peen or something like that.
Yikes.
But it's called Singing in the Supermarket. Yeah. Yeah, she's still with her husband.
At least we'll have some songs. There haven't been much, like the 2 previous episodes, we only had 2 songs per episode. And I think, wasn't there only 2 last night? Maybe 3.
There were 2 last night. But that's kind of normal. Sometimes they'll throw in 3 or 4. I like it when there's more songs. Mm-hmm. And there's been 1 or 2 where there's only been 1 song. And I'm like, I want more songs.
Yeah.
But I like the songs last night. So what happened is Rebecca it's all her dirty laundry's out. Everybody knows why she moved to West Covina. All the stuff between her and Josh. Josh tried to kind of throw her under the bus and release all her dirty laundry, and it kind of sends her over the edge. And so she last week she went back to her mom, who was kind of misering her, kind of treating her almost as like a prisoner.
Yeah, and she was like feeding her anti-anxiety pills without her knowledge.
And so she ended up on the airplane where she tried to OD and tried to kill herself. It's a comedy, right?
Yeah. That was like a really I mean, I know it's a comedy show, but I found like those last couple minutes like really like, and I know they should be uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, 100%. Which is good. You want that sometimes. I like when shows show depth, though. I mean, yes.
Yeah.
It's usually a lighthearted comedy show, but it's nice. I like when they'll show some depth and they'll get into.
Well, I mean, the way Rebecca has been acting. I mean, she boned her ex's dad and all kinds of stuff. You do see a person completely spiraling out of control, and there's gonna be, something's gonna happen. Yeah, sadly, exactly. It was.
And so
almost killing herself.
So the first part of the episode takes place in the hospital. Her friends are there, Valencia, Heather, Paula. They're there, and Rebecca's in the hospital bed, and we see the doctor that she's been seeing throughout the series. And then she gets a new doctor, Dr. Damn, or whatever Paula calls him.
Yeah.
And
they ain't that hot.
They come to the realization that she may have been misdiagnosed and that she has borderline personality disorder, which I had to look it up, but that was actually in the news a few weeks ago because Pete Davidson from SNL came out and said that he suffered from that. And so Rebecca at first is like, at first she was happy that like, oh, I'm getting a new diagnosis, everything will be solved. But when
it's a great song.
That was a fun song. I really like that. So when she found out what it was, that she was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder against her doctor's wishes, she looked online and she saw stuff she didn't like. And so she tried to get her friends to go to get her back to original doctor. And I like the scene where she did the checklist. And in Rebecca's head, we see a flashback of all those things.
Every single thing. Yeah, and they said if you have 5 of these, you have this disorder, and she had all 9.
Well, I liked when she did that. Paula turned to her like, "That's awesome. That's not you at all."
That's a good friend would.
I'm not mad at that. And I think that was the moment that I think it clicked in her, and I thought that was a really good moment.
Yeah, some good points for her.
Yeah, so that was good. So I think that
we got her on the toilet watching the opening credit that we keep seeing every week, and she's always like, "What?" We finally got to see that.
That was funny that they incorporated that into because whenever that ends every week with the credits, I'm always like, "What is this scene? I don't understand." And every year they always have an episode where they incorporate something with the theme song into the show. I think it was season 1. There was a conversation between Paula and her husband where they were reciting the lyrics of the back and forth with each other. I thought that was really clever. And we also had Valencia's song about movements that pretty much turned into poop.
Duty. It's my duty to spread my duty. That was funny. And she's like squatting down. I'm like, calm down, Valencia. But I liked it. I thought it was funny.
And then we had Nathaniel had his storyline where he's trying to find the right words to send to Rebecca, and then realizes that he has an instance from his family past that is kind of coming back and not allowing him to get the words out. So I hate his family. His family is the worst.
His mom's okay.
The mom was okay. The dad is awful.
The dad's a dick.
And she tried to commit suicide at some point. I like how at one point he had a line, he was like, and why would she go on a month-long cruise if she had the flu? People don't do that.
You don't go sailing.
You don't go sailing. You don't go sailing.
That's a horrible excuse. I mean, I know it's Cappy from Greek, and I love him just because of that, but I'm starting to really love Nathaniel. He's so flawed, but he's such kind of a good person deep down inside.
Yeah, he is, and we're definitely getting more from him. And it was kind of sweet at the end where he showed up with roses
The
and his
alligator,
mom,
yeah.
and the alligator. And
When I cried, can I tell you? When
yes.
Daryl burst through the door and he was, he's like he loved her and he missed her and all this stuff, and she started to apologize. Oh, I'm gonna cry thinking about it. It was so sweet.
I almost feel
Daryl.
like Daryl's journey back could have been its own episode.
I know, and they should maybe do a one-off on that.
Yeah, I would totally watch that, because that was funny when he came in bursting in at the end. And I did kind of, I shouldn't, but I kind of felt bad for Josh when he had
I didn't at all.
when he
Fuck
had the puppy
Josh
dog
Chan.
at the door and he heard
Josh Chant is irrelevant.
But that's going to bring a point, is what's going to be his role in the series going forward.
Nothing. Write him out. He's irrelevant. You even titled the episode that. I couldn't have said it better myself.
They did.
Creators.
I still think it's interesting. Last year, both of these CW shows, you could say they were both love triangles, and they both wrote out in different ways who I thought was the better character. Michael on The Virgin and Greg on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. And you left us with Raph and Josh.
Josh has, okay, at least, I will give this to Raph. There's at least a little something going on there. To me, Josh has nothing.
No.
Literally nothing. He's dumb. He's not interesting. He's not good looking. He's not even that nice.
Well, I hope that's kind of like the joke of everything, is that she changed her life and moved cross country for this absolute dud of a character.
Yeah. And that's what he is. He's a dud. Ugh, I can't stand him.
And but meanwhile, she met people like Paula and Nathaniel. And,
yes.
and
friends and her mom. Like, she calls Paula's like her mom, and she treats her better than her real mom, right?
Yeah. Scary buff lady from Walking Dead. I saw a picture of her one. Oh my god, very muscular and scary. But yeah, I think the best move they made for the season was making Nathaniel a full-time.
Yeah, character. I think he's working out well. I think that was great casting. And I really, honestly, I never got real chemistry for her and Josh. Yes, her and Greg were amazing.
Yes.
But I see a lot of chemistry there between her and Nathaniel. I think that's great.
And I think that character, if it was cast differently, it could have gone all wrong. But I do think they got the right actor. And at least
it's so funny to see him kind of playing this yuppie rich guy, because like
when he was the opposite. Yeah, he's like he's
floppy-haired Cappy.
It's almost like he's playing the Evan.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was kind of his foil in Greek. They were kind of like total opposites of each other.
If you have never seen Greek or even heard of Greek, try to find this online. I don't know if it's on Netflix or wherever you can watch it.
It was at some point. It may not be.
It's such a good show. It's only 3-4 seasons?
4 or 5, but they're not that long. And
it's at first such a good little show.
Like a cheesy, teeny college show.
Oh, it definitely does. But there's more to it, and there's some great actors in it, and
Beaver and Catherine.
Beaver and Catherine. Oh my god, I miss Beaver and Catherine.
My 2 favorite characters. They weren't even main characters, but
I should rewatch that when I'm done rewatching Game of Thrones.
Well, what's so sad was that rumored Christmas movie reunion movie fell through.
Well, he's got a real job now on the CW.
Well, what's anyone else doing from that show?
Well, wasn't Evan on that lawyer show?
He was on Selfless. Yeah, was that what it was called?
Was it Selfless?
That was the one based on the Bradley Cooper movie where he took pills to make him smart.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was called something else.
Yeah,
Pointless? I don't know.
It was pointless. And Ashley keeps popping up in things. What did I see recently? Oh, that Ghost show? Ghosted? She was in something this season. And she was on
Ghosted? Yeah. I haven't watched that since first. Yeah.
And she was on the Carmichael show too, which is
yeah.
But and that guy popped up in Room 104.
Room 104, yeah. I can't remember his character's name. That weird little guy.
Clark Duke is the actor's name.
That's it.
That's the actor's name. I don't know the character's name.
I can't remember his name in the show. But yeah, I mean, it's a good show. You guys should check it out if you ever get a chance. I loved that show.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And we even talked our friend Kat into watching it 5 years later.
Yes, yes. Now,
She liked it.
if only somebody could catch up with the amazing show Chuck. No.
I gave it a shot. It was horrible.
Chuck is awesome. So I guess that's it this week, right?
Yeah, that's it. We did it.
Yay. And again, Thanksgiving
So-
is next week.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. We won't be here on Sunday, but we'll be here the following Sunday.
And we'll finally get to talk about Runaways.
Yay!
I'm so excited. I'll probably be... Oh, no, it's one of those where they're not releasing the whole series. So we'll
Is it just one?
I think they're either doing 2 or 3 the first week, and then
Okay.
they do 1 a week. Where that
Oh,
Josh
okay.
Hutcherson show, they released them all at once. So I don't...
Oh, we have to watch that show and talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next time, too. Future maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Have a good week, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
See you later.